Hello, my name is Glenn Dyer, and you are watching a Dyer-Situation. Today I'm seeing The Wildlife. It's an animated adventure comedy named after a song that came out last year, and while I'm no music critic, it already sounds like it's 500 years old, so that great choice movie. And it's about Robinson Crusoe and a bunch of talking animals. Show me what you got! Alright, okay. I'm just gonna come out and say this. This was, and I know I joke about this movie a lot, but this was worse than Norm of the North. Objectively worse than Norm of the North. Wow. Okay, well, where do I start? It's hard to point out all the bad spots because it's hard to... Because essentially it would be a lot easier to point out the parts where it got things right. There were one or two elements from the Robinson Crusoe book that were in there. Just one or two, not the whole thing. They didn't do the Arctic Shake? Is that a good point? That's literally it. The voice acting is awful. Nobody matches their character. The animation looks barely above the standards for a cereal commercial. The story is almost non-existent. I mean, here's the story. They tried to spice things up by doing this 3 weeks earlier twist. You know, like, you know, it starts off like, oh, he has a full beard and he's being abducted by pirates and stuff, and now the parrot is going to tell the whole story. And that's what we're seeing. Like, they try to mix it up. But essentially, the story here, that there's a group of animals on an island, and then this dude washes up and... with some cats, and the cats are sent to an island full of bugs and stuff, and then nothing happens, and then the cats escape, and then they fight off cats. That's the movie. That is... I'm not even exaggerating, that's the plot. Nobody learns anything. Nobody discovers anything. Nobody progresses in character. No cool action scenes happen. No funny dialogue. Oh god, the dialogue was atrocious. The dialogue was so bad and the pacing was so off that at first I thought this must have been some sort of, like, I don't know, Chinese movie that was dubbed into English. But no, this is European, originally recorded in English. Like, English, and it's so bad. Everything about it is so terrible. Oh my god. I'm literally not exaggerating it to you. Like, nobody learns anything. No, there is no character progression. They just nothing happens for an entire movie, and then they fight off an army of cats, and then that's the end. Can you even imagine? So... okay, apparently the original title of this was not, in fact, The Wildlife. It was originally titled Robinson Crusoe. It was just called The Wildlife for American audiences, American and Canadian. And the trailer, I know this because I've heard the obnoxious trailer a couple times, plays that Wildlife song from last year. So here's the puzzling part. If you're going to go to the trouble of renaming the movie after a pop song for American distribution, why? Why oh why name it after a song that came out last year. Bear in mind, this song makes no appearance in the movie whatsoever. Not in the credits, not during the actual film, nowhere. That song has nothing to do with this movie. So why include a song that already feels like it's 1,000,000,000 years old and nobody cares about it anymore? That is baffling. I suppose it could have been worse. They could have named it like Roar or Animals Moles. Like that would have been worse, but still. Like this is pretty stupid. Having a bit of an aneurysm here. I need to try and explain. Okay, let's point out similarities and differences between this and the Robinson Crusoe tale. So, in the original Robinson Crusoe, Mr. Crusoe crashes onto an island with his dog and his 2 cats, and then a bunch of stuff happens, including like these cannibals visit the island, and he befriends one of them, who he names Friday. And this movie has a parrot named Tuesday. Is that a joke? Is that supposed to be a joke that the parrot's named Tuesday? That's dumb. And then at the end, he is picked up by pirates and stuff, and there's a whole pirate thing that goes on. In this movie, that it shares the pirates, it shares the dogs and the cats, and that's about it. How he survives is totally different. The island itself is totally different. There's no cannibals, although they do make a little reference to it, where the animals decide to make a bunch of noise to scare him away, and he confuses them for cannibals. It was really weird. And yeah, but the most baffling thing to me, this movie, despite having no morals or plot or anything to go on, is still edgy enough to have a character die, which is strange to me. Like the dog that he brings along, he dies in a freaking fire at the beginning of the movie. And the thing is, I don't normally mind this. In fact, I would encourage it in a lot of animated films. I don't mind animated kids films with an edge, but normally when characters die, I prefer that there's a reason for it in the story. All that dog's death did was show that the cats were mean. But we already know that. We already know they're not very nice cats, because they tried to kill the parrot earlier. They tried to kill chickens earlier. They tried to kill Robinson Crusoe earlier. Hell, this whole thing was a plot to kill Robinson Crusoe. So we already know that they're bad cats. But they kill off the dog. And there's no point to it. At all. It doesn't affect the plot in any way. They just kill him. Nothing would have changed if he were still around. It's insane. Like, I guess maybe in their epic climactic scene where they're fighting off a horde of cats, that having a dog would have made it unfair somehow? Please don't tell me that, like, a group of people actually sat around debating that, because that is so stupid. Well, would our climactic ending where they're fighting off a horde of cats seem a little too silly if they have a dog to help them? God. And yeah, like, honestly, like, the whole cat thing's pretty disturbing. Like, they're early on, they're banished to this little mini island that's filled with bugs, like nothing but bugs, and that's what they eat. And then, like, there's a male and female cat, and the female cat gets pregnant, and, like, very disturbing about it, too, just, like, soon we will have the little ones. Like, apparently they're going for, like, a Rikki Tikki Tavi thing, where, like, the male and female cobra, and the little cobralings and stuff, I guess. And then, like, as the movie progresses, we see all the little kittens grow up into full-size cats. And it's totally weird, because the mother and father cats look exactly the same age as their kids. It's weird. And then when they escape back, there's like 12 cats. Listen, I know it's a cartoon. I know that cartoons can be ridiculous and all that. And, you know, I can't really count on realism for this sort of thing. But do you really, truly expect me to believe that a group of 12 half-starved cats, fed nothing but bugs their whole life, would be able to take down a person? Like any person. Like a dozen bug-starved cats? Not just one person too, like a tapir, a porcupine, like a few animals. Like just totally overrun these people. I'm pretty sure like a nice swing with a stick would take them down. But like they expect us to believe that it's like some sort of weird zombie horde thing. Like they're busting through walls and stuff. It's insane. Why am I debating this? This movie sucks. You need to know that the movie sucks. If you just go in, just watch the first minute of it, the animation and the dialogue is so atrocious, you'll immediately know it sucks. And I am sticking by that assessment that this is worse than Norm of the North. Because you know why? In my opinion, Norm of the North is so weird, so out there, its moral, it actually has one by the way, is so baffling that it's a need to watch. To me, it epitomizes so bad it's good. This is just horse shit. There is nothing redeemable about it. There is no jokes about Rob Schneider and making increasingly terrible movies. There is no Arctic Shake to blow your mind with stupidity. There's no hackneyed moral about not building real estate in the Arctic to just confuse your friends with. There is nothing in this movie at all. Oh, and I didn't even mention this. This is another animation thing. I don't know who told them this was a good idea. Or who told them kids or anyone with brain cells would like this. But apparently, in order to make the most out of 3D, because this movie is apparently really pushing the 3D angle, almost every time, and I do mean almost every single time, a single character is on screen, their face is centered and pushed forward. Every single time. It's like they're trying to escape out of the frame. Presumably so that their fat face just blasts out in the 3D. But in 2D, it just looks freaking weird. And kind of strange. Like, it blows my mind that they would make this decision. And it's so crazy. And some of the 3D feats they do, you know, like... I despise 3D, I should mention this, but at least in the movies that do have 3D versions, they'll have like 1 or 2 shots designed to actually pop out at you, you know? And the rest of the movie is just like actual movie, like it should be seen. Like, you know, I prefer it if there were no 3D at all, because this never looks good. 3D or 2D, it looks weird. So especially when you just fill your movie with moments like that. I'm not even talking about the faces. I mean just strange moments where a character will randomly throw something around, or go past, or something like that to make the 3D pop out. Just baffling. Just baffling. This movie is terrible. You will find no enjoyment in it. Your kids will not find any enjoyment of it. I should know. There were kids in that theater with me, and god damn it, they wanted to leave more than I did. Like, they were climbing up on the rails, bored out of their minds. The only person who did seem to enjoy it was a little old lady behind me who giggled once. But I'm pretty sure she was going insane, just like I am. So, yeah, don't, no, please, no. And until next time, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching A Dyer-Situation.